Hey there, folks. Welcome to the Amazing Brick Network. My name's Tori Favreau. Thank you so very much for joining us. And as you can see, I have someone whose face may be known to some of you, and for others, it'll be a brilliant, new, bright, shiny, smiley face. I've got Adam Bilsy Bilsborough. You can call him Bilsy because that's what I'm going to do for this particular show. And if he does look familiar, this is because this man, this legend, has actually made it all the way through to the Australian Lego Masters program on television. Bilsy, how are you, mate?
Hey, mate, Tori, how are you? Thank you, and hello, everyone else.
You're so very welcome. Such a thrill to have you on board. We've known each other for a few years, but it was great to get you on the camera and maybe ask some of the questions that people are wondering about the show. I understand the format. It started in England, but then it's obviously in the US, and I've heard that the US version isn't at all popular, whereas ours has taken the nation by storm. But you know what? Before that, you've always loved Lego, so take us through how you found Lego. Just tell us a bit of history, please.
Yeah, simple. Like I guess most kids, I got it as gifts and presents and here and that. And I think my grandparents were the first like enablers, I guess you could call them.
I love that.
And they were very to the point where it's kind of neat to a point where everything had to be boxed every time. So my Lego sets back then were very good quality, kept always, and then had a bit by bit, grew older, grew out of it, had a dark period like most people do.
Yes.
And then that dark period, unfortunately, everything was sold, everything disappeared and lost. And I'm talking like, early 90s, late 80s, space and towns and you name it.
I can already feel the tears starting to well up.
I had some good stuff. And then it was nothing for a long time until my mid-20s. Mid to late 20s, a girlfriend actually bought me the Opera House.
Nice.
So
what a great
when the Opera House come out, that was a gift. And then the Opera House turned into, it's going to look cool with this, the greengrocer. Then the greengrocer turned into and then it kind of just blew out from there. So yeah, I had a very long dark period. But yeah, the last 10 years, full on like you wouldn't believe. Yeah.
I was very lucky with my Lego when I was younger, and people who've watched the show before would already know this, but my mother never let me throw out the Lego or sell it. She was like, okay, you don't want to play with it at the moment. No, Mum, I'm building. I'm an engineer. She was like, no, here's a huge bucket. Put it all in there. Yeah. Got rid of all the instruction books and everything, but all of my vintage Lego was put in this sealed bucket for me to play with when I was older, or maybe for the grandkids to get. They never got it though.
On the flip side of that, it's funny. My other small little bit of a hobby is retro gaming. So the old Game Boys, Game and Watch. See, and I have every one of those still. None of them got chucked out. They're all in pristine condition.
That's amazing.
Just the Lego got this, got moved on.
They recently just re-released one of the Game and Watches. I actually bought it when it came out. It's a color screen now.
Yeah, picked it up last Friday myself.
So good. Yeah. So you've dived into the dark ages, as we all do. You've come back out shining and smiling. And as you know, we've both been involved in organised Lego groups. Maybe talk us through some of your experience with a Lego user group.
Yep. So my group that I do a lot of my stuff with is QLug. And here in Queensland, I'm from the Gold Coast. And QLug is Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast heavy. And then we've got Bricks, which is Brisbane Bricks. They're kind of the two main ones for Southeast Queensland. I did a little bit of shows here and there. I was never really like a massive set designer, builder. I did a lot of the video work. I love my videos and this whole streaming and YouTubing and stuff like that. So I did a lot of videos for them and started getting into 360 videos. I did a lot of 360 stuff. It was only bit by bit, there might have been a person that might have needed a quarter of their table filled up or something small to fill. So I've never actually gone out and gone crazy and filled, tables worth. But the social side of it, I'm always there. The first one to turn up, last one to leave.
It's so much fun. Now, jumping back, Bilsy, just simply because you're rocking terms I know as a fellow Aussie. Now, our audience is heavily US and European based. So I'm just going to quickly throw some stuff into context for them. So basically where I'm recording from is in Geelong, Victoria, Australia. That's a state down the bottom of Australia. Bilsy lives up in one of the northern states called Queensland. So QLug is Queensland Lego User Group.
Yeah.
But you did mention that you if you ever get the chance, now correct me if I'm wrong, mate, but your YouTube channel is I'm Bilsy.
I am Bilsy, yep.
Perfect. I'll be putting a little note there on the video, guys, so as you can see it and follow it. He's got a great channel. It's well worth the follow. His video work is sensational. I've been a fan for a long time. And that is actually not just blowing smoke, you know where. I've been watching your video stuff for ages, man. I love it. Basically, you mentioned 360. Are we talking 360, hey, hey homies, or doing 360-degree videos?
Yeah, fully 360-degree videos. So obviously,
I thought you meant the rapper.
Yeah, no, I know you're talking about. The technology is getting better now, and I haven't done one lately because there hasn't been no shows to go to since COVID, obviously. So I've got a really good camera now. But 3-4 years ago, when not many people have heard of it, I made a lot of train mounts to go around cities. And there's a Hogwarts video on my channel. There's a couple of them. I've even made a video on how to mount cameras and GoPros to trains. But the train will go around the city, and you've got the option, obviously, to look up there, down there, wherever you want, and it all films at once.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, it
does. I love it. So, okay, let's progress forward just a little bit more. Now, one thing I will tell you guys, this guy is an amazing builder. As I said to you at the intro, he is not the Lego master, but he is, honestly, mate, you're a Lego master. I don't care about the end result. Now, just so as you guys know, people get paired up, whether it's with a friend or whatever, blah, 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 and they compete. And these aren't just, I've got this build I've got ready to bring in. They get given a topic and they have to make something within X amount of time. I don't know how the gears were. I don't operate like that. I can't do what you do, sir. But without getting into the politics of it, folks, I would say straight away, Bilsy has such a natural talent for Lego and such a passion and a big heart that he was disqualified from Lego Masters. He was the last one to be disqualified before you had like your third, second, and first place, and you were robbed, sir. But tell us, look, the guys who won deserved to win. They absolutely did. But you could have gone a lot further. I think you had a major impairment when it came to that show. Partner that you were given. I guess I'm never going to get Kale on the show. Okay. So, no, look, I knew I said at the start of the show I wasn't going to mention it. Screw it. I've got your back. Okay. So basically, Bilsy is an amazing builder, and Lego Masters Australia came up, and it was hosted by Hamish Blake, who's a well-known comedian in Australia. But even, I think, for us as Lego nerds, even more excitingly, Ryan McNaught was one of the judges, and he's a certified Lego professional. As far as I know, there's about 9 or 10 of them in the whole world. So what was the application experience like? What did you have to do?
Yeah. And
what was the Brickman like?
So first off was just kind of like, your regular, fill out this form if you're half interested, we'll contact you. And then they wanted to see a bit of photos, and I don't think there's any videos involved then, but they just wanted to see photos of what you've built and what you could build. Then obviously narrowing down after that one, they wanted a home video of you building something. Currently that was time limited, or they just wanted kind of to see how you built with your partner too. So at this stage, I did have a buddy that lived with me.
Yeah.
And we were entering together. And so we did that, and then it was the final cut where we actually got to go to auditions. And the auditions were very cool. So I think it was groups of about 20 or 30, and there was obviously in every state around the country. And you go in the room, and they literally sit you at a table with, so the big yellow classic boxes?
Yes.
Yeah, you get a little bit of kind of everything. Imagine about 5 or 6 of them all spread out on a table, kind of really nicely sorted. And they gave us a brief. They wanted us to build a sphere, so like a ball.
I'm out. I'm already out. Where's the door? Where's the exit?
And luckily, generally people that know Lego, you can kind of build a snot ball, not too bad. You can wing through it. But then that ball had to be made into a story. So, me and my partner, his name was Joe, we didn't want to do the typical a planet, a sun, or whatever. So we ended up making a snot ball and then a pinball table, a functioning pinball table. And we had, I think, 3 hours or 2 hours. So it wasn't finessed, but it worked enough to obviously push us through into that. So luckily for us, I only had the one audition, which was that one. And that was all filmed. obviously to see how you were like, cameras running around and getting in your face and in your way and stuff like that.
You would have been totally in your own world though for that.
Oh, you zone out. You don't really, like even on set with all the cameras you do zone out. And then so there was that one, and then luckily enough, a couple of weeks later, congratulations guys, you made it. The downside to that was this was in June of 2018 in June, and then we were called back in July, but then my mate, his partner was having a baby at the time of filming, so he had to pull the pin. But luckily for me, for whatever reason, it ever worked. They're like, oh, we still want you. Are you happy to work with anybody else? If we find someone else that is in a similar situation around the country, are you happy? I'm like, mate, this is a once in a lifetime. I'm not saying no. I'll see you down there. So that happened. And then, we ended up starting to film in October, and it was, say, the mid-October. I flew down on the Wednesday. I met Kale on Wednesday. We filmed on Friday.
Jeepers creepers.
Yeah.
So what was it like just meeting a random and saying you're going to compete for a lot of money?
Well, it was actually funny. I don't think I've even told anybody this, but I landed in Melbourne Airport and we had like, taxi, all that kind of stuff. But Kale was like, oh, I'll come pick you up, we'll go have dinner, we'll meet. I'm like, that's cool, perfect, good start to it. I jumped in his car and his first question was, who do you follow in politics? And I'm like,
oh no.
What? I'm like, dude, I am so far from politics, like, whatever. And then we went to his house and he's got an epic Lego room, like a Lego room anyone would die for. A really, really good Lego room. Anyway,
that's so cool.
Sat me on the floor and he's like, show me what you can build. And I'm like, are we partners? Are you my teacher? Do I apologize? So I was like,
no.
So that was the first hour of meeting Kale, and from there it was a very fun ride.
I can only imagine. I certainly wish I had the rights to show some of the footage from the show. But all of our friends on the internet, if you do want to see episodes of Lego Masters, all you need to do is go to this website, 9now.com.au, and I'll put the link there, and you will be able to watch through. Those episodes are still online, and as far as I know, there's no region block. So I did show one of my friends from America one of the episodes, and she was able to watch it no problems at all. So I dare say that anyone will still be able to watch it. Just sit through some Australian ads while you do so. But okay, so with the show, did it sort of is the show fed income? The American show's got a lot of insinuation that you've got to be dramatic, you've got to have a really tough backstory, etc., etc. What did you find when you got in there?
Well, obviously, as far as backstories go, we all had our individual ones. Like with me, mine wasn't nothing, dramatic or glamorous. I'm a radio DJ announcer with tattoos, so I kind of didn't fit into that generic. Like yourself, there's people who have, and not now thanks to Lego Masters, obviously around the world, but people had an image of, oh, you played Lego and you're still 35 years old, you know what I mean? But from the second we walked on the set, everything was 100% real. Nothing was over edited. Nothing, like, obviously, they're adding dramatic music and they'll sell the story better. But we were never ever told, hey, can you pick up this way, or can you say that way, or like what you saw was raw and how it was. But we're all mic'd up. Yeah, so we're all mic'd up 24/7, and kind of how it would work. Say, you had the 8 teams, we're all building away, and then I might be under my breath going, oh, holy crap, oh no, I can't find this part, it just broke that. So every cameraman can hear that. Just out of reaction, they all quickly go and zoom on you.
I was going to say, if they all swarm you, then you know something's going on.
Yeah. So that's kind of how they get that, that's how they get the reactions and the real stuff. So it is real. It is, nothing was ever told to, oh, you fell over, redo that again. It was genuine as far as all that kind of stuff that rolled out.
That's really good and refreshing. So if someone was being a jerk, it's because they were actually a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, it was there was no, they didn't cut parts out just to, and I guess if you go back and look at the show, there's more than enough. Like, how can you only find, you're finding half an hour every show to, you look like that. It's not like they showed 2 minutes of it and nothing else. So yeah, it was very genuine.
Wow. And the actual setup itself, like, it looked like every Lego fan's dream come true. Yep. Was it as cool live, like, as it looked on TV?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was definitely no smoke and mirrors from what you saw to what it was like experiencing it. that brick pit was literally a very bright, very illuminated brick pit with everything you can imagine. But I do remember the guys that filled the storeroom up on the first day, there was a stuff up. So when we were building that first build was obviously the really big mega city.
Yes.
There was only right-hand wedges, right-hand slopes, right-hand, like everything. They were missing all the left sides of everything.
Let's make the other side.
Yeah, so they were missing a lot of the left sides only the first day. Then we realized, hey, and like same with Technic stuff, didn't really matter on the first day, but obviously Dave and G from, the other team, they're very heavy Technic builders. And there was only ball sockets and no ball joints.
Oh, no.
So they weeded out a few problems as we went, but no, put that aside, like it was unlimited bricks as much as you want. And then even though, you might think, oh, there's only this much tubs of red bricks, and when you run out, they're done. There's people running non-stop that you couldn't see, refilling every half an hour, every 10 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I'm a minifigure guy. I have been forever. I guess, look, I would say I've got a sizable collection. I've got several thousand figs, but I remember looking at that wall of minifigures and thinking, do I have more than what they've got out there?
Well, so especially because I have seen your minifigure collection, it wasn't, the minifigs were good to sell the story. They definitely weren't good if you wanted to get specific. So I'm assuming you've been to the local Lego stores around your area that you have the build your own minifigs.
No, you guys are lucky. In Victoria, we've only got the Lego Discovery Centre in Chadstone.
Okay. So I think there's another store.
Thanks,
down
Lego.
There is another store down there, I think, that hasn't not long been open. That Doncaster, I think they're opening it or about to open it. They have a build your minifig, and pretty much all it is, it's like a pick a brick wall, heads, torsos, legs, and you build it yourself. That's kind of all the wall was. So there was only, say, 15 different types of torsos, 5 types of legs. It's a very repetitive wall.
Okay. And so when you're on set, now some of these builds, like they made a lot of fun about the time limits and stuff like that. And the host Hamish would run out and do his little thing. One thing, let's jump quickly there. And I friends would often say to me, like, I find the guy incredibly funny, but I wondered if did him and the brick man actually hang around the whole time?
They were there probably 80% of the time, and then they were in and out, and they'd disappear for a bit and come back. But they were there definitely a majority of the time. But you've got to realise, so that first build, I think, I can't even remember, it was either 8 or 12 hours to build.
Yeah.
Yep. That was filmed over 3 days.
What?
So what happens is, the time was perfect. The timing is exactly what you see. But what they do is, they'll start you early in the morning, and they'll film with the whole crew in the center, so to speak, looking at each desk for about 4 hours. And then all of a sudden it's hands down, tools down, don't touch nothing. Then you got to leave for an hour or so, and they change the camera rigs. You come back in and the cameras are then behind you. Then they're like, okay, get back onto it. Then you build for another 3 hours. All right, day's over. So technically, yes, you do only build for 8 or 12 hours. There's no cheating with the time, but there's a lot of breaks, toilet breaks, camera changes, staff movements in between. Like when they were chasing Geordie and stuff.
Now, for those who didn't know, this kid literally sprinted for the entire show. Yeah. Every time he left the table, he would just run into that brick area, run back, and everyone in Australia was just waiting for this kid to crash, and he didn't do it once from memory.
He did like a skip trip, but yeah, he didn't really come down like we all wanted him to. Yes. I'm sorry, mate, but yes, that's what we wanted you to do. Sorry, Geordie.
don't tell anyone, Geordie. So, all things said and done, did you ever find though when you took those changes or next day stuff, did you sort of lose your mojo a little bit?
Definitely, 110%, definitely. So there was a lot of, you might be in the flow. And it's like, stop, everyone stop, get down. It's like, oh, man. And then you walk out, you forget what you were going to build, what you were building, that platform or the structure to get ready to put on top. And that kind of got a bit, on the flip side of it, you got your lunch break, out comes the phone, Google. Google, what have I missed? What can I add? Oh, quick tips. Okay, good. I'm going back in fresh. Let's go again. So
That's rad. I didn't think of that.
It works both ways. Definitely worked both ways.
So overall, the process, you found it rewarding. Like it was certainly something very different. How did the members of your local lug feel about you being on the big small screen?
Yeah. Like I personally, I loved it. Like it was, as you said, there was a few, I guess, choices my partner may have made that could have, made us or break us. Like, so don't get me wrong, everyone, and it's funny, and I still laugh about it myself. Everyone picks on the DeLorean. So for those that are watching, we were told to build a DeLorean pretty much this big, and we had 8 hours to build it. Kale went next level, and we only got one half of a wall done and a tire and nothing much. But to his credit, I seen the end goal was if we done it, we were the best goddamn builders in the world, hands down, if we were going to complete that. If we didn't complete it, it wasn't elimination, so who cares?
Very true.
I get that side of it, but when we did get eliminated, when he built too big of a scale and it was just a complete mess, that was when it was like, mate, you literally just cost us the door. We would have won. Like, if we stuck to dinosaurs and the proper size and scale, I guarantee we would have killed that round.
Yes, but there was some risky builds, and I think it is difficult when you've got very different personalities. I guess that you weren't mates, you were thrown together to make a TV show that, you're going to go off on these paths and they're just not going to marry back up again. And and that's where you had like your other guys who have been mates forever. They know how each other builds and they complement each other. Whereas it was sort of seemed to be like once a decision had been made that it just went in that direction for you guys, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I can't not, and I can't knock him. Kale's an amazing, like, I put it hands down. Kale's a better builder than me every day of the week. He's a really good builder. He's just not a good communications builder, But, he pushed my limits, which is good, which is what you want for a TV show. We didn't go there to bore people. And then, like you said,
you certainly didn't.
And like you said, coming back to the lug, I come back and I'd do season 3, 4, 5 again. I'll change a wig and go back in it for next year's content. It was fun no matter which way you look at it. It was good.
I am so pleased, and that is really good to hear. And you, like you did say, it was like you and Kale, and so Kale, to your credit, you weren't boring at all. It was like you got a lot of airtime. And some of these guys, it was sort of weird though, because like you guys would banter and butt heads, so they weren't showing some of the other guys who may have just been working quietly and getting a lot done. And it's like, I used to go, my theory always used to be, well, if they're not showing them, they must be doing something incredible for the wow factor at the end, or they're just not interesting.
Yeah. And I think you'll find that it was more of the not interesting side of things. And, like you said, there was something on every builder. There was always something different that just was that, that tweak which had worked out beautifully for me. Like, I was along for the ride, so I was happy whichever way it went. But there's also a lot of stuff that you guys didn't see, like, building internally the structure of the unicorn bike, that we did the half bike, half unicorn.
Yes.
The Lego side of things, you guys didn't see very much of. You seen more of the reality TV show side, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was involved? Because that thing looked crazy.
It was literally, so we only had 2 1x2 Technic bricks coming out of that bike. And it was just laced Technic pieces and then bricks off that. So it wasn't too crazy, but the way, and I left that up to Kale because he knew straight away he had to focus on what he wanted and how it was going to be done. And I was just left with brick building the legs and the big colourful tail and stuff. So that was brick building very easy for me.
You had the more fun bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I had all the colours. He had the white and the structural part. So it was things like that they missed. And like one thing that really got to me, and I'm glad we never got eliminated, was the apartment challenge.
Yes.
Something happened, and it was like, I think Brickman said to Kale, you should listen to Bilsy more. He knew the brief of this a bit better than you picked it up. And, it wasn't an attack at him, but it was just more of Bilsy can see what the end result should be, not you. And he took that too personally. So this was all the day before the apartment challenge came out. The morning of the apartment challenge, we had the best apartment, because it was such a big build, we kind of got a bit of a hint towards everything we only knew when TV knew. We weren't hinted on anything. It
Yes.
was walk in the door, this is what you're building. Except for the apartment, we kind of got a bit of a, hey, this is what's going to happen. So we kind of set out, all right, we want this, going to build this is going to move, this is going to look good, etc. That morning, he's like, oh, I've decided, and remember, I don't even remember, it opened up and folded out.
Yep.
He's like, we're going to show everyone we can build really good separately. I'm like, what do you mean? That doesn't work. So he goes, I'm building this side, and you're going to build that side, and we're not going to help each other. You know, I want you to build to your best performance, show everyone what you build like. And I'm like, you are an idiot. You have just lost exactly what they wanted us to do.
Working as a team.
And luckily for us, Guyana and Danushi didn't finish, and they got the elimination for that round. So we like skin of our teeth for that one.
Absolutely. Now, did you find through the process, I think most of the time, people who love Lego are just, it is a little kid thing, but it's like, you like Lego and I like Lego. We're friends.
Yeah.
Did you find through that, did you make friends through the show, whether it be with cast or crew, or has anything continued beyond?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like every chance I get when I do come to Melbourne, I stay with Guyana. Like I can stay in, even like, you know, when we got flown down for press days and they're like, yeah, no, you can stay in the hotel. And I'm like, no, I'm staying at Guyana's house. So me and Guyana and Danushi became really close, and we still are. Like I was geeing him up, just talking to him before. All of us have stayed really close. We have like a group chat thing on Facebook, and we talk every single, even, you know, Dave and G over the other side of the country, we still talk.
That's really nice.
You know, even though there was 16 contestants, the chat only has 15. You can make a guess who's not in it, but no, we literally talk every single day. It's really cool. I love all the guys.
So outside, like, so you've got the contestants. Yep. Was it a us and them though? Was there like, you know, the hosts, they were there and they'd interact for the camera, but it's like, you know, you're not on the phone to Brickman every second day. Hey, what up?
No. Like, I mean, I still talk to Brickman on social media now. While we were filming, very approachable, even off camera. Hey, mate, you know, I'm stuck. Can you give me a recommend? He wouldn't tell you what to do, but he's really good with giving hints. But yeah, like I talked to him on social media. Unfortunately, Hamish never replies to me on social media, so I never got to that friend level, you know, but hey, it was close enough.
And you know what? I think that's more than fine, because it's like, yeah, Hamish is a funny dude, but he doesn't really live in our world. He just visits.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but you know what? Off camera, they're obviously there every day while we're filming. He legit is the funniest guy, and and I don't know if you heard it before, very tall. Very, I'm talking like I'm 6'3" and he was above me. Like,
really?
Basketball tall. Like, he walks in the door, he does these ones. Like, proper tall.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness me. No, I don't know, because he's so slight of frame. He looks short.
Yeah, no, very, very tall and genuinely funny. Like, it's not just made up for TV. He's a good laugh.
That is so cool. That's really nice to hear, because I genuinely enjoy him on the show. And I sort of, like, every now and then I do have to go, he doesn't like it as much as we do, but, you know, he is funny. And
he does have and you could see he had a massive passion for Lego. His kids were playing the brick pit off camera a lot of the days. They'd come in and hang out and play, and he'd stay around, and he genuinely, so all the stuff like you would have noticed through the show, he'd come out and build this or do that. Like, that was him building. He was genuinely having a go with us.
Those pieces of rubbish that he brought out and showed you. I must admit, I don't know if it was your season or the season 2. Yeah. There was a Star Wars one that season 2, and he went to steal all the minifigures, and I was like, I totally feel you. I just wanted to scoop them all up myself. I was like, how do you stop yourself?
Yeah.
No, that is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that part with me. Now let's move on. Because obviously it's been a couple of years since that. Yep. And, you know, you're still well known in the Lego world. It isn't as though you just faded away or anything stupid like that. What has been going on for you personally, or, you know, Lego wise? Just let people know what you're doing now. It's not you've gone away. You've been busy.
Well, that's it. You nailed it on its head. Coming out of that, winning or not winning, I kind of took it on the point, you know, I still love Lego. I still love all my videos. Keep relevant while you can, and then hopefully let that roll on. And, you know, it's been pretty good to me. Still obviously building Lego, but I got a lot of which I would never thought I've ever had to do. I've got a lot of commission work out of it.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of companies wanted their logos, or I sent you a photo of something. It's a mess at the moment, but there's a gym that I'm building.
I did see that.
Yeah, the DJ set that I've kind of only just skinned as well for Pioneer Australia. They want that as, you know, so little bits and pieces come out of it. But I also, out of all of it, and I've seen it done very slightly in the States, was live streaming from Lego shows. So I trialed it at the start of this year at Brickvention in Melbourne. Set it up exactly like a news TV studio. Well, you know, the table with the computer, and just go live from inside the show, have guests, have builders, have whatever. And I wanted that to be my thing. And I was literally going to travel around Australia to different shows, the big shows, and bring my setup every show. That's still in the plan for next year when, you know, I can travel. But since then, so I've got a good, like, I guess, bunch of mates now as well. Coming from the show, I've met a lot of people and getting closer with a lot of people.
Yes.
So as you mentioned earlier, on the YouTube and Twitch and stuff, on a Monday night, I've got a little panel, and we interview different people from the community, or we talk about the latest Lego products, leaks, you name it. And then during the week, with a close friend of mine that lives up here, we build kind of almost what's latest. And at the moment, we're building the Batwing. And, you know, yeah, so it's.
I saw that you were doing that last night.
Yes, yeah.
I was there. I was watching.
Yeah. Although that's a lot of black and boringness, and as we talked about off air, I was almost going to buy the Colosseum, but I think that's just a whole lot of nothing, especially for a stream. How do you keep that interactive? You know what I mean?
That is one of those things. I do agree with you. That's why I haven't bought the Batwing. I never bought the tumbler. Even doing the TIE Fighter pilot helmet head, I was like, it's just so much black. One, it's not fun for me because I love color. Yep. And two, it's not fun for the audience because it doesn't matter how good your camera is, it's not going to pick up all those individual elements.
No, and you've had experience, and if anyone that's watching has had experience, black Lego on black Lego just loses all detail. You just can't film it nicely in any way. But in saying that, the Batmobile looks cool.
It does look very cool.
You know, so if someone builds that Batwing colorfully, like with random color parts.
Can you imagine? Or make a Joker version of it.
It would look. I'd buy it. If someone made it, I'd buy it off. That would look awesome.
That would look awesome. Yeah. All that color, that would be absolutely wicked. So with the commission pieces that you're doing, how does that work? Like, obviously the companies contact you and say, hey, can you do this?
Yeah, well, because my normal job, I am in radio and music. That's how a lot of the music stuff has come up. But especially now, a lot of people are looking for that kind of edge, and Lego Masters has obviously helped the popularity by a million. Like, everybody knows Lego Masters now. A lot of people are getting more heavy into it and that. And it's just by people that know people, and, you know, my mates, oh yeah, I know Bilsy, he was on that show, maybe you should get him. It's been a lot of word of mouth. And then
that's sensational though.
Yeah, I love it. And then once one thing has come out, someone else will see that and be like, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I can do something for my company. That goes to the next one. In saying that though, it's a little bit boring, not boring, but a lot of people just want logos made mosaically. Yes. So it's cool that I can do but, you know, it's also me just putting it in Photoshop and turning it into a grid artwork.
Yeah, so true.
It's lost that element of, I want to build something for you, not just your logo on a faceplate.
I have seen, like, it happens a bit more in America, but a lot of companies will actually get their business building made out of Lego.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously the photos are bad and I'm only halfway through it, but the gym that I'm building will be a top-down build with exercise machines, with their pool, with the yoga room. Yeah, so that's fun, and that's all minifig scale. That's amazing, because, you know, you can kind of map that with modulars and stuff. So that's what I love. That's cool. I have had a few people hit me up. They want big model type, maxi-fig type things. Then when you give them a price, and it's not even my labor price, this is what's going to cost me on Bricklink for the 1,500 pieces you need. They're like, oh, but don't you just have tubs at home we could use? It's like, it doesn't work like that.
No, that's for my stuff.
Yeah. No, so, you know, definitely. I mean, I'm happy to take it on and off, but I've been dying to build the Staples Center, the Los Angeles Lakers basketball team.
Yes.
I want to build that in a what's it called, cross section, because I have the full NBA sports, all the sets, and that's my big next build that I want to do when I take it to a show.
That'll be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go as hard as Brickman did, because he built the the MCG, obviously.
That was insane.
That's probably $10,000 worth of bricks and minifigs, but I don't have that quite much play money. But I do want to do something bigger, and it's just because of so much of these little jobs, and then YouTube and then COVID shut everything down. I haven't had time to really, what do I want to build? And then the downside, and I'm guessing you'd feel it too, as you said, you just bought the Ecto 1. They're releasing such big sets every couple of months. How can I keep up?
That's right. And it's like, at the moment, I think they've given us a bit of, the Coliseum notwithstanding, because I don't want it. But though Lego, if you do want to send it, of course, I'll build it and I'll love it for you. I promise. No, I won't. I've already told people when they send stuff, if I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. Yeah. So send decent stuff. Look, at the moment, I got the Ecto. Just recently, I got 123 Sesame Street, which is awesome. The Nintendo Entertainment System. It's piling up, and then I still go to the shops and I'll find more stuff. Like last week in Mara, I went through I always go for a look, because you know how it always changes. Yeah, Mara's a department store in Australia, and I found the grand piano.
Oh.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. Why is it in a bag? Why is my wallet out? Why is there $530 less in my wallet?
Yeah.
But
and then what sucks? You got to think we're mid-November now, end of November. Modular's releasing January.
Yes. I wish I knew what was coming.
It's very fun. It's like you said, like myself, I've got the Nintendo, the Batwing. Before that, I bought the Lamborghini, which I still haven't built. It's just, I'm not complaining, because I love the stuff and keep bringing out these mega adult sets. It's amazing. The Haunted House, I've built that. It's like, oh man, big setup. Luckily for me, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I own no Star Wars Lego at all. So that saves me. I
feel like playing that Metal Gear Solid.
That does save me a little bit, that I don't, Star Wars and superheroes. I have no superhero, no Avengers, no Marvel, nothing like that. But out of the sets I don't have, which I'm dying, and I probably will go look this weekend, I want the Marilyn Monroe art set. But downside is I want all 4 versions of the Andy Warhol colors.
$800.
See what I mean?
I do. It's the same as the poor guys buying the Beatles. Yep. The only one out of that, I only bought the Sith one, and I just want to make Darth Vader. So,
and don't get me wrong. If we really want, we can go and you can bricklink, you can pick a brick wall, your 1x1s, but might as well just go buy the set. It's there, the manuals, the numbers, it's ready. Just do it.
100%. Now, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Do you want to let people know, actually? Please let people know how they can find you on the internet.
So it is very easy, and thankfully no one stole any of my usernames. So YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, everything is I am Bilsy. Whatever one your favorite one is, definitely follow, and Instagram. I literally stream the same thing across all channels at the same time, just so no one misses out. I know when you talk to internet streamers, that's a bad thing to do. You shouldn't diversify your audience, but just trying to spread the love. But yeah, I am Bilsy is.
I'll put that up.
Yeah, is the best way to find me and follow me and heckle me, and yeah.
You won't be heckled, dude. You're amazing. Thank you so very much for being on the show, Bilsy. Now, folks, just a quick one. Make sure you do follow this guy. He does some amazing stuff. Wears his heart on his sleeve, and his love for Lego is so obvious. If you can't tell by this video, then go and look at his other stuff, because if you do want a friend in Lego, this is the guy to be following. But in the meantime, don't forget, if you're just watching this, and I'm about to plug my own show, if you're watching this, like, we do find that a lot of people, and you probably feel the same, they're watching but they're not subscribing. Please subscribe to the show, click the bell, get the notifications, and throw a comment in, because Bilsy, I'm sure, will check the comments. I'll be checking comments on our regular show. All of the builders that I show, they check the comments. Show them some love and just get behind it all, and we'll build a big Lego family together. Thank you so much for being on the show, mate. You're an utter legend, and I do hope to talk to you again soon. But folks, in the meantime, get ready. This show is an absolute privilege for me to provide to you, and we'll be coming out with more interviews soon. But in the meantime, we'll be doing our builder reviews. We review members from all the network, looking at what they're doing voiceovers, doing set reviews, and also just whatever stupid stuff I can figure out to do with my green screen. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you, Bilsy. Take care, mate.
See ya.